We are in Bangkok Airport. We just got to our gate for Delhi, India, and this has been a very stressful departure. We got here quite early and we get to the desk and the first thing they ask for, we have never heard of it before, and apparently there was an extra COVID form that we had to do online, and it took us about 20 minutes at the desk to figure it out.
Yeah, it was a whole mess, whole process.
It was a whole thing, and finally we got through, and then we went through immigration and we didn't have the right paperwork to leave the country, so we had to fill out extra paperwork for that, and we've just made it to our gate and we're boarding in 20 minutes. Okay, we just got to our hotel in Delhi, and well, we knew India was going to be quite chaotic, but I would say that it's been a little bit more chaotic than we thought it was going to be. So we had a hotel booked for the entirety of our stay. We were going to stay here in Delhi. However, we get to the airport and I was like, okay, we'll grab like a city taxi to the hotel. And this private driver just insists on taking us in his car.
He would not leave us alone.
And so we were like, okay, we'll get in your like private taxi. But then he didn't even have a car ready, so we had to wait for a car. And then there was already a driver, but he also got in the car. And it was really sketchy, but he was very nice and spoke English very well. And he gets close to the hotel and he says that there's a festival going on. So he's like, I don't know if we can actually reach your hotel. He's like, I'm going to take you to this tourist agency downtown.
Except he didn't say that. He said,
yeah,
I'm going to take you to city center, which is where shit happens.
And he's like, we will call your hotel from there and see if we can even reach the hotel because of traffic. And so we get to this tour agency and the hotel is basically like, yeah, it's going to be really hard to get here, even though on the map it looked only like 5 minutes away. And so they basically convince us to buy an entire tour package around like 3 major cities in India, but a lot of stops on the way. And
private driver.
They canceled everything we had already planned. All of our tours and our hotel and everything, they canceled and got confirmations for like full refunds, and we paid like probably 20%, like 10 to 20% more than we were going to spend with everything else doing it ourselves. And now we have an entire tour booked to the whole Golden Triangle in India, and our tour starts tomorrow morning. So we're now at this hotel that they bought for us, and now our private driver is coming to pick us up in the morning, and it should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see where we can take you guys.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot more on this tour than we could personally, but it was just a little jarring to arrive at the airport and not be able to reach the hotel and then change the entire trip at 11 p.m. at night. But so far it's been pretty cool here. We've already seen a lot of cows in the street. All right. See y'all later.
To agree to. All right. She seems nice. She's good on the go.
Yeah, she does.
We leave the sanctuary of our hotel.
Namaste.
We are here. We've made it.
This morning we had breakfast at the hotel, and then our driver, Rohit, picked us up and brought us to this beautiful temple.
You kind of see it behind us here. kind of all over the place. You have like a
Yeah.
rock formation over here. There's like a lazy river going throughout the place. There's something over there.
And it's very, very hot. It's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
Still pretty humid too.
Yeah.
Let's go get back in the AC. We're at the Lotus Temple. This place is quite amazing. The scale of it is just insane. Tons of people are coming here today, as it is a holiday. America. Yeah.
USA.
Yes.
Yeah? USA. That's where we're from.
Double. We don't get this too much. This is just incredible. It's actually not too crowded either. I was expecting way more people. Wow, that looks so good. Oh my gosh, it has like this cheesy glaze on top.
This is so good.
Is it?
Yes.
Look at that naan. That looks incredible.
Like a million times better than what I had in the hotel last night.
What are you eating right now?
Everything. This is the complimentary dessert they served us.
I thought it was sprinkles, but it's very much not. We just went on quite the trip around the markets over
In Old Delhi.
Old Delhi. It was
We had a
insane.
tuk-tuk ride around the oldest markets in Delhi, and it was so chaotic, but
was
so much fun.
crazy. We had so much to look at.
We went to the spice market, we got some spices, we went to the pashmina market, we bought some nice beautiful silk scarves, but it's insane here. There's so much happening at every moment, and
Yeah,
everyone,
way more than I thought.
everyone wants to take photos with us.
Yeah.
Everyone keeps stopping us to take selfies, and they'll pull out their phone and videotape us because they don't see a lot of white tourists very often.
So now we're
So-
famous in Delhi. So.
constantly getting stopped, but it's a lot of fun. People are very, very nice here. But we are about to get in the car for about 4 hours to make our trek to Agra tonight, where we will see the Taj Mahal at sunrise tomorrow morning.
We'll see you guys there. Doing a little editing on the way. Guys, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. We're getting ready to go to the Taj Mahal to watch the sunrise. Last night was just as eventful as the first night. As we arrived in Agra, we were looking for some food, and there weren't too many places open, so our driver had a friend with a restaurant, and we ended up going and having dinner there. Yeah, it was a good time. We got tons of great food for close to nothing. And yeah, let's go see the sunrise. Wow, you've made it. You finally made it. Tell me, what do you think?
It's stunning. No words to describe the Taj Mahal. It's about 7 a.m. and we're getting ready to leave the Taj Mahal. Rohit is coming to pick us up shortly, and it is already 102 degrees outside, and I am absolutely drenched in sweat, but this was such a beautiful experience. It was truly amazing.
We met this lovely guy who condescended taking photos of us. However, they turned out really good, and I gotta say, they know what they're doing here as far as getting the right shot. A little cheesy, but
yeah, we
it's
have
India,
a lot of really
baby.
nice photos.
Lots of cows, lots of sheep, lots of stone.
Look, coming for Heritage Hotel.
And a massive palace.
Heritage Hotel.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Hanuman God temple. He is very old.
Monkeys were just drinking out of the faucet.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, oh. Want that one? Oh, 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 oh. They're so cute. See, not too bad.
Cows like vacuum them have holding the babies in this time because it's a breeding season.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them they are carrying the babies.
Now, what kind of monkeys are these?
These are macaque monkeys.
Macaque?
Yeah, macacos. Oh,
Pretty common monkey.
yeah. That's wonderful. What's your name? My name is Ricky. Ricky? Yeah. What are you? Tyler. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, this is good because we've been looking for monkeys. We started in Singapore, and then from Singapore went to Thailand. I don't have no more.
Yeah. Hold in this hand and keep it up higher, more up. Relax, so. That's lovely. It's not gonna take your hat anywhere. Chal. Tag. There he is. Relax, relax. Yes, you have this.
We have had quite the long day today.
Yes.
We are just getting into our hotel and it's about 6:30 at night. However, we've been up since 4:30 in the morning because we saw the sunrise at the Taj Mahal.
That was pretty amazing. I was a little hesitant to wake up so early, but it was well worth it in the end, for sure.
Yeah, it was so beautiful. And by the time we left, even just an hour or two after sunrise, there was such a big crowd there. So I'm so glad that we went like that early because we got so many shots with no one in it. It was amazing.
It was almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit
Yeah.
at 5 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah. And then
it's
as
been a
we
really difficult day as far as hiking into the temples and maintaining enough water. We've been running out of water quite frequently, so.
Yeah, as the day went on, it got up to about 120 degrees Fahrenheit in the middle of the day. So it was really hot. We had our 4.5 hour drive to Jaipur from Agra, and we stopped first at a really big palace from the Mughal Empire, and that was just so hot. It was really, really beautiful,
Just
but it was
burning hot sandstone
so hot.
everywhere.
And we didn't know that the tour was going to be like 2.5 hours long of a walking tour. We thought we were only going to get out of the car for like less than an hour, so we just were not prepared. But it was really beautiful nonetheless. And then we got back in the car and got outside of Jaipur, where we went to the monkey temple.
That was really fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We literally had monkeys climbing like all over us, and we were giving them naan bread, and they were very friendly. It was really, really nice. They weren't too intimidating.
No, I mean, I think those monkeys in particular would be a little less intimidating than like monkeys out in the wild, because
Yeah.
they are wild, but they're
They're
to
used to
people coming
humans,
in.
yeah.
I mean, just yesterday, Sunday was a holy day, or yeah, it was Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very special day. The guy said that there was over like
40,000 people.
insane.
At the
So
monkey
you got to see
temple.
the monkeys were probably like having a blast.
Yeah, yeah. But we finally made it to our hotel, and we're so tired. We're ready to relax. Tomorrow we are exploring Jaipur all day, and then the day after that we head back to Delhi to fly off to Vietnam. But yeah, I would say it's been amazing so far. Our driver, Rohit, is so kind and really helpful for
Yeah.
everything.
He shows us all the good local spots versus the touristy spots for souvenirs, and then also for food.
Yeah, we've been eating some good food,
Mhm.
but we haven't been filming that much just because it's just been really hot, and when we get food, we're just been really tired.
Yeah.
But we'll try to film our dinner tonight. We're gonna eat at the hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready?
Got some naan and some aloo gobi. Looks so tasty.
Breakfasts are a little different here in India. Here's our ride. What do you think?
It's hot.
Oh, that's cool with the birds flying behind you.
Here is elephant village in government. But sometimes it's very too much activity.
Yeah.
Sometimes lighting for painting, in some giving for a name.
We're at the step wall here. Right behind us is the Ember Fort. We're about to go upstairs. Check it out, up the mountain.
This is amazing. It's so big.
Alright everybody, we've made it to Ember Fort, outside of Jaipur, and
I'm excited to explore.
we've already seen a good amount of the sights to see along the way.
Downtown, yeah.
We went to, we drove by the Water Palace. We also took a stop at the step wall, which was pretty amazing. It's quite filthy at the moment, but they said when the rainfall hits, it's a great swimming hole. So I'd like to see some videos of people jumping off into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise we've made it. We're here. I'm gonna take you up there.
Wow, this is so amazing. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. We're all the way up in the mountains, and you can see the lower part of the palace here. You can see the wall that they built, and then you have the main temple up here. It is so beautiful.
Well, we were looking for the glass temple, but we didn't realize we were standing right under it the whole time. A little different than what I had in mind, or what I imagined, but this is really quite beautiful if you go up close and just see the detail. So much attention to detail in all of these palaces, temples. It's amazing.
In forested areas. And I have about 4 times.
Those guys on the path. Yes. Wow, that's brilliant. They follow the pattern. You can't miss it. You just print and it's done.
So this is for clothing?
This is for clothing. And how you identify if somebody around Jaipur and
Some garlic naan, some mutton, which is goat, and then some butter masala paneer. Looks so good.
Do you like those?
Yeah, they're alright. There's so many shoes.
Come on. You squeeze?
Yeah.
Why?
Sit down. Yeah.
Get lower, Kaylee.
तो मैं वो राष्ट्रपति है वो पुरस्कार देगा फिर बना के इनाम देगा तो
Oh, sorry.
Me okay?
Are you good now?
Yeah.
Dal.
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 Dal. And then this.
Namkeen.
Namkeen?
Yeah.
What is it?
Alright, it's our last day in India. We have our journey from Jaipur back to Delhi today, where we will catch our plane to Vietnam tonight. But
Where to begin?
firstly, I mean, there's literally no way to even describe what we saw last night after
And
our
this
like
whole
sightseeing.
experience really just, it's not, India is not what I had imagined. Obviously there's many parts to India, but
Yeah, it's been a very unique experience here, and we definitely could not see this side of India without our driver, Rohit. But basically last night he invited us to his house with his wife and 2 sons to have dinner. And Tyler and I were kind of talking about what his house might be like, and just like thinking curiously about how the local people live here, because we've been staying in hotels, and it was just so eye-opening to see his village and see how people live, especially someone who is a private driver who you would think would make a decent salary in India, is just so far from any sort of norm that we would ever consider a living condition. We basically arrived and it was just pretty much a 1-room shack for the most part. There was like a few small rooms, but
it was like a shed, dirt
Yeah.
floor,
yeah, dirt floors.
tin roof,
Yeah,
pots, no stove,
like
no electric.
running water. They had a little bit of electric and a little bit of fresh water, but they didn't have a lot of like hookups or maid supplies. There was like cows just chained up like outside of everyone's houses, and children just running around in the street playing.
Like
And-
2-year-olds
yeah.
running around.
With like traffic going through. And basically he invited us into like the bedroom, which is where they prepare most of their food and do a lot of cooking as well. And they just had like a plywood plank supported by like concrete blocks for their bed. And he was like, please like come in, like sit on the bed. And they like gave us drinks, and then he was like, okay, do you wanna like walk around and see our village? And we were like, sure. And yeah,
Yeah, it was. We looked over and we saw these kids. Well, obviously, you know, they don't get a lot of white people around there, so everyone's looking at us. There's people on the houses, on the
like
rooftops,
waving
looking
at
down.
us, and
And I noticed a lot of them were kids, and I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And he kind of explained to us that it was it was actually an all-girls like orphanage. I wanted to keep my phone away because I didn't want to feel weird recording.
yeah,
So they ended up performing this beautiful song. I guess it was like a holy song that they were performing, and they just absolutely sounded so crisp and beautiful.
yeah, it was amazing to watch these children. And so we actually accidentally have the audio from them playing this music. So I'm going to overlay the audio onto some video of just driving around his village. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy.
Have you seen my name?
Thank you.
classical music from the children. He was like, please come over here, like I want to show you my friend's house. And so we walk down the street and we go to another basically shack, which is pretty much more rundown than his. And they have a buffalo tied up like basically in the middle of their house. And it's huge. It's a huge animal. And we sit outside of this guy's house for probably like a half an hour while they really just all talk about us in Hindi. And Rohit kind of translated some of it, but not a lot.
A lot of laughing and
Yeah.
pointing, so.
Yeah, they were very confused about like Tyler and I's relationship because they were older men, and so they are used to arranged marriages and not like love relationships. And so there were a lot of questions about that. But one of the wives actually milked the buffalo while we were sitting right there. And then she made us a pot of fresh chai tea with the buffalo milk, like literally on a
Incredible.
fire
So good.
right next to us. And then we drank it, and it was so delicious. But what happened after that?
It was just a whole slew of events, but it was a really humbling experience seeing how happy these individuals can be with literally nothing.
Yeah.
Yet, you know, it's just interesting. You can't even really compare it to anything in the States
No.
because it's a completely different world.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, a few things that that Rohit was translating from his friends is like, oh, those Americans, like, they have so much money.
Yeah.
Not just us, but Americans in general.
Yeah. Or white people. In
And
general.
it's funny because obviously, like, we're doing this trip on a budget, and we never even planned to experience this, so it was just kind of very eye-opening. But we ended up walking back to his part of the village where he lives, where Rohit lives, and they had dinner prepared for us.
His wife and neighbor were cooking like a whole spread of food on the fire for us, and they were actually cooking with dung. So like all of the cow and the buffalo poop, they basically dry it out and use it as like a firewood.
Coal.
Yeah. So they were cooking like breads and rice over a dung fire, and they made us like this whole dinner.
However, we were the only ones eating around probably like 15 other people just in the hut, like tiny little hut, staring at us eating. And of course, you know, the food was delicious, and it wasn't spicy at first. I was like, oh no, it's not terrible. But halfway in, it just hit so hard. But you know, you want to eat all the food, so I did my best to eat all of it.
We're sitting literally on his wife's bed in this tiny little room.
Everyone's pointing
and
and
Tyler and I
giggling.
are like eating this food, and our noses are running. It's like so spicy, and the entire village has like now come over to watch us eat.
Neighbors, the kids
And,
from
like,
the orphanage.
No one else is eating because I don't know, they want us to eat first. So we're literally just on the bed eating, and everyone is just filled into this room taking pictures and videos of us, and we're just eating. It was very, very interesting and just funny, really.
Yeah.
And then,
Smiles the whole time.
Yes, everyone was so kind. And then afterwards, everyone wanted photos, so we probably spent like at least a half an hour just taking photo. Like people were just like, okay, me next.
Everybody
And
needed a photo with with the white people, and then they wanted a photo with just the girls and just the guys, and then just the one guy and one girl, and then everyone. I mean, it was just so many hundreds of photos. It was just a really good time.
Yeah, and then we just kind of got back to our hotel last night, and we were just baffled, really, of like what we experienced.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. But now today, Rohit is going to drive us 5 hours back to Delhi. So we're pretty much going to spend the day in the car. And then we're going to head out to Vietnam tonight. So we'll probably have a bit of footage today. But yeah, India.
driving footage.
Yeah, our travels in India pretty much done.
Yeah, feels kind of surreal, but I'm so glad that we ended up coming
Yeah.
here, even
And
though
doing the
the
tour,
weather
yeah.
has been just almost unbearable at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. See you guys in Hanoi.
All right, we've been at the airport for 4 hours and our flight still doesn't leave for 4.5 hours.
Kidding me?
But on the way to the airport, we picked up Tyler's custom shirt that he had done for him in Jaipur. And honestly, it's pretty fucking sick. It looks so good. He got to pick out the fabric and the design, and it's all hand stamped. See how there's imperfections? It was all hand stamped by local artisans in India.
And we got to watch the process of how
Yeah.
it was stamped, which was really cool. That's
Yeah.
one of the main factories.
But yeah, we had some of the worst airport food ever. And now that Tyler's feeling better from his upper respiratory infection, I'm starting to feel nice and stuffy and sick. So we'll see how this goes, but we get to Vietnam tomorrow morning.